Rwanda Scheme 2.0. Once again, I'm going to show you a clip of Nick Ferrari, probably the last decent person on LBC. I can't think of anybody else who's any good, and I never listened to the station anyway, but he makes some great points on the Rwanda scheme that Starmer cancelled on day one, giving away, basically throwing down the pan, about around 400 million of taxpayers' money. Facilities in Rwanda that the EU are now considering using to send migrants over there, and the US are also considering to send migrants over to Rwanda as well.
I don't know whether the Rwanda scheme would have worked. We'll never know whether the Rwanda scheme would have worked. But it seemed to be dumped in an act of political spite. And what do we have now? The Prime Minister flying around various parts of Eastern Europe, trying to get the deal going, being embarrassed in Albania by saying the Albanian Prime Minister, likes the relationship with Italy and didn't fancy a one-night stand with the United Kingdom, thank you, where they're married to Italy. So now we're off to Bosnia-Herzegovina. Well, for that, just read Rwanda. It's just a different country. But they were too stupid, too driven by political motives not to see it.
It wasn't anything more than ideology and political spite, as Nick Ferrari says. It was, oh, the Tories did this, we're going to cancel it. And now they're scrambling around trying to find any country they can that might do us a deal just like the Rwanda deal. We're going to end up paying again for facilities to house these people, for officials to go over there, no doubt, and make sure that they're looked after. And at least the Tories' Rwanda scheme was going to be done as soon as they landed here. Not when they've appealed 1,500 times, used millions of taxpayers' money, and even then, under Labour, they will probably still be allowed to stay because left-wing lawyers will do anything they can to keep them in this country and stop them being sent to Bosnia. If it is Bosnia. It could be anywhere. And don't believe this guff that they're saying they're deporting people, because they're not. They are literally paying them taxpayers' money, our money, to go home. They are lying to our faces and spending even more money on these people. If they arrived on our shores and got a couple of grand to go straight home, I wouldn't actually be that bothered because it's still cheaper than what they're costing us every single year to stay in hotels and get their spending money and all that stuff. But we're not going to stop these boats coming over the channel while there are incentives to come here. And if you compare it to any other European country, the incentives are lucrative and many.